Hey everybody, welcome to my day 7 of my challenge. A couple things. One, my website will not be launched tonight. I'm really sorry for those that were super excited. It's still going to take a few days. I've been working on it all weekend and it still has some work to do, so it will be a little bit longer. So I do apologize on that. I was over anxious in my predictions on that. The other is I got an entertaining comment yesterday from my sister who had said that she thinks some of my videos are super overly peppy and they don't necessarily always reflect some of the negative aspects that can happen with this too. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about not only emotional eating, because that's definitely something I want to cover, as well as your emotional reactions to taking chemicals out of your body and to not wearing any sorts of chemicals. Actually, I'll do that talk first. So in regards to this, the reason that I decided to bring it up was my hair the other day. My hair today actually doesn't look too bad, but yesterday it looked wonderful. And yesterday it looked wonderful because I got this bright idea to use, to cave and use the Castile soap. So that lye soap that I said I really didn't want to use in my body. I did end up using it. And when I say using it, I mean like literally I'm talking about like a couple of drops with a couple of drops of coconut milk, and I washed my hair with it. It sudded up like crazy, like this huge ball of soap. It was crazy. But my hair looked beautiful yesterday and it looked really decent all day now. Now it's getting to the point where I have to probably wash it again or at least use some of the dry stuff, but it worked really, really well. And the reason I wanted to talk about the emotionalness behind it is the fact that the reason that I caved yesterday is because my hair was just so greasy and I've been feeling that it was like that all week. And I haven't been able to wear makeup, and I've been very frustrated on the way that I look, that I just caved. I was just so frustrated and almost angry because of the fact that I looked like crap. And it sounds so silly. Most people don't really think like that you'd get emotional or get upset about it. But if you're somebody who's used to putting themselves together and putting yourself together when you go out into public and looking and smelling decent and all these kinds of things, it's really frustrating if you feel that you're not accomplishing that. So I did cave and I did that with the shampoo. Felt 100% better. It's sad that made me feel so much better, but I'm sure there's other people in the world that would completely understand a week of having nothing but super oily hair. I wouldn't use that every day because it was a little dry, but it felt, for a change, it was nice. But I would use it probably once every couple of days and then do the dry in between because I think that will work really well. Now, in regards to emotional eating, there's two different ways usually that people emotional eat. They either emotionally eat whatever the crap they can find, or when they're emotional, they do the opposite and they don't eat. And both are very unhealthy for multiple different reasons. And the key trick in order to defeat those is to have something around the house that you can use instead or eat instead that helps compensate those cravings and still doesn't really break your lifestyle. Because I don't want to call it a diet. Diet's a terrible word. But the lifestyle changes that you've made. For instance, somebody gets upset, somebody gets dumped, somebody has a bad day at work, somebody's frustrated about whatever. They want their tub of ice cream, okay? And they want to sit there and just eat their ice cream in their pajamas and watch TV or something, a Netflix marathon. The one thing that they're really wanting is that sweetness. They want the fat and they want the sweetness. So the other day when I was totally having a craving for something super sweet, and ice cream would have sounded fantastic, but I didn't cave. I actually had made myself a chocolate mousse made out of avocados, cocoa powder, a little bit of maple syrup, and then I had put some frozen raspberries and stuff on top. And so completely raw chocolate mousse. Oh my god! Oh, and some dates because I wanted to sweeten it up. It was so good. I took a picture of it because I literally was eating this for lunch, which I'm sure seemed a little bizarre to my boyfriend that I'm sitting here eating chocolate mousse at my desk. And I'm like, but this is okay for lunch. All it is like avocados and dates and raspberries. I mean, that's a fantastic lunch, right? Of course it is. But it gives me that sweet craving. It helped get me through a rough work day. I had that satisfied emotional eatingness, and yet at the same time, I'm not breaking my not eating sugars and not eating starches and not eating all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of awesome. I was pretty excited about coming up with a solution for that. And if anybody liked the avocado mousse recipe, which is fantastic, it doesn't taste like avocados at all. Like, you literally can't taste the avocados. I'll post that on the website as well once that goes up in the next few days. I'm sorry, guys. And in regards to those that don't eat, that when they get emotional, they stop eating. And I can definitely get that way if I get super emotional. I literally forget to eat. I'll get so engrossed in whatever else I'm doing that I just don't even think about eating. The number one thing that I always remember and make a habit now is having, yes, I know I've said it a million times, but having water on me. Because if you're constantly drinking all day, at least you're giving your body some fluids. The other is to always have something in the house that is easily available as well to grab. That doesn't necessarily, it doesn't matter what it tastes like, just something that's easy to munch on. So things like grapes I tend to have around the house. I had made myself a bunch of kale chips because I kind of have an obsession with chips, and now that I can't have chips, I've made some kale, which are actually really good. These guys I put in the dehydrator for a couple hours and put nutritional yeast, some olive oil, and some salt. And for those that don't know what nutritional yeast is, it's fantastic. It's full of B vitamins, so I know that if I'm sitting here and I munch an entire bucket of these, that's okay. It's a giant bucket of kale and a whole bunch of B vitamins, so that's kind of awesome. But it's one of those things too, just something that's there that's easily grabbable, because you'll be looking at, and put it right beside you, you'll be looking at it the entire time, whatever it is that you're doing, and you'll think about it. Because the problem is, if you're over emotional and you're not eating, you're not even thinking about it. It's not like you're making a conscious decision not to eat, unless you are, and that's a completely different problem. That's not emotional eating. Is you're not even thinking about eating. So by putting it there, right in front of you, easily accessible, and that you have to look at a constant basis, it will force you to say, oh, shoot, right. You know, a couple of hours have gone by and I haven't eaten anything. I really should eat something. So you can sit there and pick at it at least as much as possible. And keep drinking the fluids, because at the very least, at least then you've got some water in your system. So your body will keep running until you feel normal again, and then you can go back to whatever your normal is. So that's my rant for today. If anybody has any questions, you know how to reach me. And I will post my video tomorrow evening as usual. We'll go back to the regular daily schedule. And hopefully my website will be up in a few days. So stay positive, my friends. Love you guys lots. Bye.